is trash. Wrestling is trash.
Pow! Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to episode 156 of Wrestling is Trash, the nonsensical podcast where we talk all things professional wrestling, past, present, and possibly the future. I am Trashboy number 2, Lou from the BX, host of the Everything Podcast, co-host of Wrestling is Trash. I was doing the Adam Cole thing for some reason. I don't know why I was doing the boom or budge. I am Lou from the BX, host of the Everything Podcast, co-host of Wrestling is Trash, your favorite podcasters wrestling podcast. And we are here to you today on another Trash Tuesday. Again, coming to you live and direct. And of course, directly to my right is the man who needs no introduction, but will introduce himself.
What up? What up, everyone? Trash Boy numero uno, number 1, Nick Anicelli. We're back with you guys again, ready to talk another episode of Everything Professional Wrestling. Thank you, Trish, as always, even though not a single wrestling fan is probably a fan of what's going on in that whole thing, for being honest. We can still thank her for everything she's done, and of course, her still looks at her age. Still looks amazing.
Love Trish.
Excited to see them in a steel cage. I'll say that, but that this thing has done nothing for me.
Yeah, it's a little weird. I'm a little bit off of WWE TV right now. Like, I'm not watching Raw. I'm not watching SmackDown. Oh, actually, that's actually a lie. I watched SmackDown last Friday. And I don't know what possessed me to watch SmackDown last Friday, but it was funny because that's where
probably Edge.
Austin Theory lost. No, not last Friday. The Friday before, actually. Sorry. The Friday before last week when Austin Theory lost the championship to Rey Mysterio. He was supposed to wrestle freaking
Santos,
the leader of Santos. I can never remember anybody's name. That's never changed. That's the only thing on this show that won't change. I'll never remember anyone's name ever. But yeah, it's funny. Like, I watched that whole episode and it was actually, it was good. I was entertained, but I just bro, I feel I was waiting to talk to you about this until from when we got here, but it's like, bro, I'm like, I think I need a break from wrestling, yo. Like, I feel like I need a break, yo. And I was thinking about it, and honestly, I don't think so much that I need a break from actual wrestling. I think what I really need a break from is wrestling fans and the online portion of the wrestling fans. Like, I think if I just don't go on Twitter, and because Instagram I don't really fuck with. Like, I have my personal Instagram and I don't really fuck with wrestling on that page. Like, we have the Wrestling is Trash page, but that's just for promotion and whatever. I don't really scroll through it too much, but it's mostly Twitter, bro, or X, if you want to call it X. It's like mostly Twitter, bro. Like, one thing we're gonna get into, All In surpassing 80K, which is like
insane.
Congratulations, Tony Khan. But we were going to get into that and talk about how amazing it is. But one of the things that makes me want to get away from these people on Twitter is immediately, God bless you, immediately when WrestleMania tickets went on sale and they sold their 80, I don't know what they sold, 80, 90 tickets or whatever. They're like, oh, look at that. WWE sold in 3 days and it's taken. Oh, and I'm like, you fucking people, can you why? I don't understand these people who it's the same thing that. The ratings, why are y'all so fucking invested in these numbers that don't mean anything to you? We're here to celebrate 80K sold. We can also celebrate on this show WWE selling that's insane that they sold that many amount of tickets in 3 days, especially when I went and looked because I was thinking about going, and the fucking cheapest tickets were $300 to sit in the nosebleeds. I was like, nah, I'm not doing that.
Yeah.
So it's amazing that they sold all those tickets, but it's like, bro, what's the like? I don't understand these people that they have to constantly this or that. Like it's annoying.
And this is why we've said this before on this show, why WWE especially, Tony does sometimes, but we know Tony, which it's not a bad thing, caters more to the online fans. But this is why WWE won't change its way. Because what would we say? What was the percentage we agreed on? Like 15% of the actual viewers are probably like the IWC. It's just, and I agree with you like 100% because I don't get influenced easy. Like I'm a grown man. I can make my own decisions on things.
Right.
But when you see something, say something cool happens in wrestling, whatever promotion it is, and you, the viewer, think it's cool. And then you get on this thing and you just see negative. It makes you rethink. It does make you rethink.
It does, man.
Like what you like kind of thing. And that's why, like, since I've been out here, I haven't been on it as much. And I've noticed it different on both sides, like both companies. But yeah, dude, I definitely agree. I don't think there's anything wrong with taking a break in wrestling. And I say this to our viewers, to any wrestling fan listening. If you're going to take a little break from wrestling, the time to do it is coming. The reason I say that is because you got All In this week. No one's skipping that. And then the following weekend, you got Payback, and then you got All Out, right? Watch your weekend of Wrestles. I know we have another one coming up.
Oh, we got to go in on that.
Watch your weekend of Wrestles, and then you could easily take a cold, hard reset for a month and tune back into WWE. I think they have Fastlane in October, and then you're good.
Yeah.
Unless you want to, because I guess with WWE, did you see John Cena is going to India?
For what? Are they going to India?
Yeah, so it's weird. They're doing a show there, but it's not like a pay-per-view because it's on a Friday.
Yeah, so SmackDown, I guess, right? Are they doing a SmackDown?
So he's coming. They said it yesterday. He's coming back to SmackDown September 1st. Probably, okay. And then he's going to be at the India show on the 8th. But I don't think the India, I bet you it'll get released on Peacock, but it's not going to be like a.
Oh, okay. It's not live.
It's not getting presented as like a plea, if that makes sense.
Also, but it's a Friday though. It's a
Okay. So it sounds like it's gonna be just a big house show for the fans in India.
That's cool.
And that's the thing, man. Like at the end of the day, if you're a true, that's so dope, 80,000 plus, like a company that's been around 3-4 years, going to a great place to watch wrestling where some of the best fans are. Like, you know what I mean? Yeah. Like every Raw, SmackDown, and I only say those shows because AEW hasn't done like shows. Is Dynamite there this week? Or are they doing like All In and bouncing?
No, yeah, they're going. I think they're just going straight over there.
So, I bet you if they did a Dynamite or a Collision there, it would be nuts. And then, so it's like the fans are always great. It's just, it's going to be a good show. And it's like, does it really matter if 80,000 are there or if 20,000 are there? It's going to be good.
It matters to some of these people, apparently.
Yeah, and then it's another beef I saw online. And I don't know how numbers work. And as we know on this show, we don't really speak ratings. We'll talk about it briefly, but we don't dive into it. Like demos and all that. But Warner Brothers sent out a thing saying that last week, 2.3 million people watched Dynamite.
Bro, I don't know how you and we have some type of in sync thing. I literally just pulled this up, and that's why I was like, "What?" And I was about to bring this up because I didn't know where you were going.
I'm assuming because I know they count DVR views and things like that. And here's the thing: instead of because people went off online saying that Dynamite beat SmackDown.
That's bro.
In reality, they didn't. It's just all the streams and all the other bullshit. But it's like, who cares? Who cares?
And that right there should tell people that it's all bullshit. Because what are we counting? Are you counting live views? Are you counting DVR? Are you counting people watching on the app? Are you counting people? Because I watch SmackDown on Fox Sports app. So how the fuck do they track that? Like they track when I log in or something. Does that count as a rating? I don't know. So like, what are they counting, and where are they getting these numbers?
And how much of it do you need? And how much of it do you need to watch for your rating to count?
Right. Like, were you flicking channels and you stopped for 3 seconds and then changed it, and that counts as? Are you counting those people? Like, you know what I mean? So that should tell you right there it's all bullshit. Because, bro, 2.3 million people watch Dynamite. Really? That's come on, bro. I'm calling cap on that shit, bro. That's cap. There ain't no way.
I say
and
that
this is
too.
Coming, and this is coming from Warner Brothers Discovery.
And it's nuts because that's what SmackDown usually does on Fox. But I'm not saying because SmackDown's so much better, but SmackDown's on Fox. Like everyone, every TV in the world, like any basic cable package, I think for the most part has Fox.
This is insane. Most interestingly, Warner Bros. Discovery noted that Dynamite was watched by a total of 2.3 million viewers, a number that likely includes delayed viewers via DVR and on demand, as for viewers who watch the show live. But that's bullshit. Like, how do you, like, that should tell you right there the ratings fucking, like, it's all bullshit. You know what I mean? Because where are you pulling up these, like, these numbers are just coming from anywhere. Like, you're counting DVR, you're counting people who are watching like on the apps. So you're like, there's no way. No way.
Staying on the AEW thing, one thing I literally read during our intro, I tried pulling up Twitter one last time. Chris Jericho announced, because he's facing Will Ospreay, which I am intrigued to see for sure, because we're big Will fans on here.
Oh yeah.
Jericho said Fozzy will be performing Judas at.
I mean, that's cool. That's fine.
I think that is cool. I'm assuming Jericho's going to be walking his way. Because, dude, I'll say this. Fozzy, even though he's been around 4 years, right, in this company, and I just went to a show in January. Everyone's still, imagine 80, like literally, I'm not saying it's 80,000 people are going to be singing Judas. Like that. Yeah. I know Jericho's done a lot in his career. Like a lot in every promotion, literally every promotion. This is easily going to have to be one of his best moments. Whether the match, even if the match goes horribly, just 80,000 people, because he's been in those size crowds before, cheering for him or booing him, which I'm pretty sure he's the heel in this, right? Yeah.
No, he's a babyface. He's the babyface now.
Wow.
After that whole thing with
with
picture and all that, and then he got attacked. Oh, he's definitely a babyface.
So even better, 80,000 people are going to be cheering and singing his song. Like that's got to be cool. Like, you know what I mean? Like, even if the match somehow goes horribly wrong, and he's performing his own song, like that's gonna, like,
that's nuts.
If Jericho ever, when he said at the end of the day, when it's all said and done, if he said that was the highlight of his career, I'd be like, yep, I don't blame you.
I can't blame him. You coming out performing your own theme song that you wrote to 80,000 people, and they're all singing along. They know every word, like, as you're walking to the ring. That's crazy, bro. So is he going to sit there on the stage and perform it, or he's just going to walk to the ring and sing his own song? Like, I
bet you he'll do some in the beginning, like back and forth, and then like make his way.
Yeah.
But I have a feeling, I don't know how big the set's going to be, but I think they're going to have a long walkway.
Yeah, probably.
I hope they do. I'm a big fan, even though I know the wrestlers probably hate it. And that makes me think of Jericho. Did you ever watch The Undertaker's Last Ride special when that came out?
I never, like, as much as I love wrestling and all that, like even the Cody one that he just did, like,
great.
I don't find myself, I know, and like, I don't find myself watching a lot of these like documentaries, and I should, because I thought the Sasha Banks one was tremendous. I watched the Kevin Owens one. I thought it was tremendous. I watched what other one did I watch? I watched a couple. Oh, the one with the Miz. Like, I thought they're always great.
3 off the top of my head, definitely the Undertaker's, his series, the Cody one, and then Edge's documentary they did. The 24 was really good. But
yeah, those 24s are fucking great. I think all those things I mentioned were 24s actually.
Yeah. And then, but during the first episode of The Last Ride, so the Undertaker started allowing filming 3 days before his match with Roman at Mania. So do you happen to remember that WrestleMania? It's Orlando. They had the super long runway when they had the theme park.
Yeah.
And Jericho and Taker were talking. And Taker's like, to Jericho, he's like, oh, have you seen the stage yet? And Jericho was like, no. And he's like biting into an apple. And Taker goes, yeah, it's 80 yards long, the walkway. And Jericho bites into 80 yards.
Wow.
And if you go back and watch like an entrance from that Mania, like it really is that fucking long.
Wow.
I don't know. It made me think when we said the long runway in Jericho. So I'm picturing Jericho just seeing this long runway and being like, what the fuck?
Damn. No, I'm sure it's going to be good for him. So as far as performance-wise and everything. And I think they're probably going to end up having a big stage if they're going to have Fozzy there performing too. Because if I remember correctly, the all-in like stage was huge. And they had
I don't like doing comparisons. People can say what they want about the build or the mat, whatever. This is, I don't know if this is going to be a yearly thing. It might be. It very well might be. But this, okay, maybe this might be a hot take on my end. It doesn't have to be. I think this needs a WrestleMania type feel.
It should be, yeah. This is look, man. We were talking on the pre-show about you asked me how do I feel about the build-up for this card. Again, the first All In was just in itself a feat of like it was just a tremendous feat that these dudes just came together and pulled together their own pay-per-view with like all these like indie-rific wrestlers or whatever. And they had a fucking awesome show. Like I watched that recently. I think I told you when I was like, yo, I'm watching the first All In because it was on Honor Club. It's also free on YouTube for anyone who wants to watch it, which you should watch it because it was a fucking great pay-per-view. Aside from some people appearing on it who are now like kind of canceled. But besides that, and what's his name? Jimmy Havoc and shit, like those kind of people. But aside from that, you know, it was a very entertaining show. Not the greatest show ever, not the worst show, but it was definitely super entertaining. But the thing with that show was like it was put together. There was no show to promote it or build it. And I get it. You have that show now, so you probably could do a better job of building this card up. But I think like Tony's kind of doing a thing where like the tickets are sold. And if you look at AEW's track record as far as pay-per-views, like they've not done a bad pay-per-view. Not one of these pay-per-views that I've been like, yo, that shit sucked. Like, it hasn't happened.
Yeah, like we said, the worst one they had was like a B+ pay-per-view.
Yeah. And it was like, you know, it was good, not great. And that's the worst I could say about it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
At least for me, in my personal taste. I know there's people who hate
there with you.
I know there's people who hate fucking AEW and their style or whatever, and that's whatever. But my personal taste, I have not seen a bad show from them. So I'm fine with how they're building up their current card. Like, again, the only problem I have is that it seems like he's throwing a lot of multi-man matches in there to get like as many people on the show as possible, which is understandable. But God damn it, I want to see Kenny Omega have a match. Exactly. Like I want him having a singles match and be in a feud that like is worth the build for like a show like this. You know what I'm saying? I'm sure the match is gonna bang. You know, obviously, you know, they're gonna have a fucking insane match. But it's like, fuck, man, you throwing Kenny in this and then throwing all these guys, and then you throwing Blackpool in there, and now we don't even know who the 3 people are gonna be that join Blackpool or whatever the fuck. It's like,
and you know what it is too? Because like I said, it's gonna be good, but when you have your company, AEW, you have your stars, and you should be building matches around stars, right? And I hate referencing like WWE, but it's like when it's Mania time, they probably sit there and think, okay, who's Brock's opponent? Who's Edge's opponent? Who's, even though he was hurt this year, since he's been, who is AJ Styles gonna fight? Like, that's what I felt the approach should have been with Kenny. Like, who is Kenny gonna fight? And I get it, they had an amazing plan with Bryan Danielson. That would have been awesome for them. But there's got to be someone else you can throw in there for a banger of a match. Like, I would have loved Kenny and Swerve, personally.
I even thought, like, I've been clamoring for that match for like a year already on Twitter with Kenny and Swerve. But I even thought they were gonna have like, and I wouldn't have been like fully on board with it, but I would have been like, I think I would have preferred it. Like I thought they were gonna go to Kesha and Kenny, which is like, I don't know if that's the match you want to have on a stage like that for a one-on-one, because I don't know if Takeshita is ready. And by ready, I mean like just as far as him being big enough to have a match like that with like a Kenny Omega one-on-one. Like,
and when Kenny goes,
he's
Kenny
there
goes.
yet. And of course, I'm not taking away from Takeshita's ability. I just mean as far as being big enough for that type of match. Like you want Omega and Osprey, Omega and Ibushi, Tanahashi, Swerve, those big names, you know what I mean? So I might have preferred that, but who knows, bro? You know you're gonna get the match. You know it's probably gonna be insane. I'm probably gonna love the match, but still, it's just like 100%. At the end of the day, you want to see these singles matches.
And you know what? This is the thing, and this is where fans sometimes have to look at the business side of things. This match, this card, every match could literally suck. We could give this pay-per-view an F-, right? This thing is still going to be the biggest success in AEW history.
Oh, yeah. Yep.
Regardless of how the matches come.
Yep.
And that's what people got to kind of realize at the same time. It's like there's a business behind everything. You know what I mean? Obviously, they all want to give, like, Tony wants to probably give the best card in AEW. I would not be, knowing Tony, even if it's not, which I think it's going to be one of the best shows they've done, he's going to say this is the best show they've done in AEW history. And that's fair to say because of the money he made. You know what I mean?
Pull up this card and see exactly what's on here as of today. Because I know, okay. All in 2023. Well, this is Wikipedia. It's not going to help me. Sporting news. Let's see. So obviously we know we have Adam Cole and MJF as the main event.
Yep.
Right. And then we have FTR and the Young Bucks for the tag team titles. Sheeta, Tony. What the fuck? Stop loading. This is so annoying. So let's see. Sheeta, Tony Storm, Saraya, Britt Baker for the AEW Women's title. And again, we'll next week we'll probably do like an actual like pick it. But right now, I just want to see what's actually on this card. CM Punk versus Samoa Joe for the Real World Championship. Darby Allin and Sting versus AR Fox and Swerve in a coffin match. Ospreay versus Jericho. And then you got Kingston, Best Friends, Orange Cassidy versus the Lucha Brothers and Blackpool Combat Club. With
that's the Stadium Stampede, right?
To be announced Stadium Stampede people. And then you have Hangman Adam Page, Kenny Omega, and Kota Ibushi versus Bullet Club Gold and Konosuke Takeshita. And then, this is on the pre-show, which is weird that they're having this match on the pre-show. Aussie Open and versus MJF and Adam Cole for the ROH titles. Weird.
Yeah, I don't know. I think that they might be doing that because that's where like the turn or something's gonna happen.
Yeah,
I don't see that. I could be wrong because you already know the main event's gonna go at least 15, 20 minutes. Like it's not gonna be a short match.
Yeah.
So I can't picture that going long.
Yeah, something's up with that. Something's up with
and
that.
There's probably still some other matches. There's probably still
this.
some other matches.
This even has the times. So US and Canada, Australia, 2 a.m. Oh my God.
Wake up early, everybody.
Get up early and have some cereal and watch some wrestling.
Yeah,
I gotta like again, some of the stuff on this card is like obviously the Stadium Stampede match is gonna be, that's gonna be really good.
Yeah, those Anarchy in the Arena Stadium, they're always good.
Bullet Club Gold makes sense because they're probably like one of the hottest things on Collision right now. So that match makes sense. And plus it's going to be, you got Jay White and Kenny Omega in the same match. Like that's going to be fucking tremendous.
That would have been a great one-on-one too.
Yeah. Ospreay and Jericho, I think is going to bang. I say I don't really care about Darby Allin and Sting versus AR Fox, but then every time Darby Allin has a match, I'm like invested. Like I'm just invested, even though like I didn't like how last week on Dynamite him and Nick Wayne beat the Gates of Agony. Like what the fuck? Like, really, you beat the Gates of Agony? Like, because the thing is with that is, like, I watch Ring of Honor every week. I have not missed an episode of Ring of Honor, and those motherfuckers have been murdering people for weeks, for months, even. They just come out, whether it's a tag team match or it's a trios match, because they're the trios champions in ROH. They're annihilating people. So then they come on Dynamite
and lose.
And they lose to skinny ass Nick Wayne and skinny ass Darby Allin. It's like, what the fuck? Like, how? And clean. That shit, like, I couldn't deal with it. But
I have to ask you a question, because
Yes,
you
sir.
said you mentioned her name earlier. Well, I said her name now. If Tessa Blanchard never got canceled for being an idiot, because before that happened, was there rumors of her going to both companies?
Probably. Well, Tessa Blanchard, I thought she spent a little bit of time in NXT.
I think the
before she
early
left.
NXT. I think early NXT. Like
She spent
Sasha
a little
Banks
time
NXT.
there. And then she left there. She went to Impact, and then she did a bunch of other shit. She
was the Impact champion.
Yeah, she got super over in Impact. And then she kind of fucked her own career up.
She was on path to be in either AEW or WWE.
Oh yeah.
Where do you think she would have ended up? Because I know they were both interested.
I mean, I would say at the time she probably would have ended up back in WWE, like in the on the main roster, or maybe even in NXT, just for like a blip, just for like a quick blip. They put the belt on her.
She wanted to face Charlotte. I remember that.
She probably would have ended up back in NXT. They would have put the title on her, and then she would have had a quick run, and then she probably would have jumped to the main roster, and they would have.
So that answers my second question: if she would have been a champion in either company.
Oh yeah, for sure. They would have put the belt on her. Now she's.
Because what did she do again? She was saying like racist
I don't remember
to
it.
Someone.
Yeah, I don't remember it completely, but
because it's been some years now.
She used some racial epithets towards it's not a black wrestler. I think she was like Latina, but like super dark skin or something like that. I forget who.
But I heard she was just kind of like. I heard she was kind of just like a bitch too.
Well, there was that too. There was that too, but she also said some not, not cool shit. And, then there was rumors that it wasn't true, but it was, but by that time it was already out there, and there's no,
she's at the lowest of lows of shows. Because I saw a video of her at like a high school gym doing a show.
Yeah, she looked happy to be there, but I mean, at least she could still work or whatever, but these people are not going to touch her with a 10-foot pole. Like, there's no fucking way she's going to end up on any of these shows. Like, it's just not going to happen. If you can't get Enzo, who is like, that guy will get a pop anywhere he goes because people just fucking love him. At least the crowd does. I don't know about the other wrestlers. But, and I've watched video about him and stuff like that, and he seemed like he understands, like, he's made a lot of mistakes in the past as far as having like a big head and being kind of like a diva and shit. And he just like Big Cass has come a long way. He's had a lot of problems and he figured himself out. He realized, damn, you know what? I fucking had a big opportunity. I fucked up and I have a second chance, and now I'm, let me do shit the right way. I think Enzo's in that same boat. And if you can't get that guy on one of these shows, because he's innocent, like he's literally innocent.
Yeah.
Like, there was no court shit. He didn't get arrested. Like, it was false. She made the shit up or whatever. He's innocent. But that stain is on him. And you just can't, once that shit happens, you can't get it off. Doesn't matter what you do. Yep. So if you can't get that guy on one of these shows, you definitely not getting Tessa Blanchard on one of these shows.
Yeah. So I know we talked about it briefly off there. I want to dive into it. So what are your true thoughts of the CM Punk versus Samoa Joe match, which I think we both love the aspect of, but being for the real world champion, like that they're going down. Is this too NWO like with the spray? And
it's funny that he's kind of like mimicking like Hollywood Hogan. Yeah. Like if you look at some of the things that he's doing. Like he's placating to the crowd. He's kind of being like heelish face or whatever. He's playing towards the negative shit that's coming to him, the spray painting of the belt. Like I don't hate what they're doing, but I don't like the fact that MJF is just kind of like completely ignoring the fact that another dude's walking around calling himself the champion.
Yes.
Like if I was a champion, I'd feel a fucking way about that. I would at least mention it to someone. You know what I'm saying? He's so busy fucking hugging up to Adam Cole and worrying about Wembley or whatever. He's just like not paying it any mind. But it's like, fam, there's another dude walking around with a belt calling himself the champion, and you're the champion. Like eventually you guys, that's gonna have to come to a head. Like you guys are gonna have to figure that shit out at some point. And like I just don't like the fact that it's like MJF has had no response whatsoever. And he's even said a few things to like he didn't say his name directly, but he's thrown a couple darts at MJF too. Like even when he first came back, he was like when he pulled the belt out of the bag finally, he was like, I earned this belt. I didn't get it wasn't given to me because I had the best dog collar match. I got it because I won the dog collar match. So it's like he's taking shots.
Now, am I wrong for thinking that part of me really like Punk's like, no, like I'm actually really the champion. I didn't lose it. Like, because like we're CM Punk guys, but we all know he's really got that ego.
You say that. And frankly, I'm like, so
is your stock going down? Are you ready to sell your stock?
It's going down big time. It's going down big time, and I'll tell you why. It's going down big time because aside from the trios match they had, I haven't really been impressed with CM Punk in the ring. He looks a little like off. Like he looks like sloppy. He doesn't look like fluid with his shit like when he's wrestling. And of course, obviously, I can't get in there and do the things that he does, but there's been a lot of like little botches and shit and little confusion when he's had his matches. And even like last week, like that shit when he picked and mind you, Samoa Joe is like fucking 350 fucking pounds.
Yeah,
so
that GTS.
Pick this guy up on your shoulders. That GTS looked like shit. It just looked like shit. I'm sorry. It looked like shit. It did. It just looked like shit. To knock out a big and to have Joe have to sell that shit after it happened, it just makes Joe look stupid. It makes him look stupid. Like, and also with all the backstage shit that's supposedly going on, because again, I don't know what the fuck is really happening there. I don't know what's true, what's not true anymore. I don't.
We got guns. We don't got guns.
Yeah, one guy's waving guns around. The other guy's sending people home and shit.
Did you see the meme of Did you see the meme of the Undertaker?
Nah.
It was like a photo of him just like his arms crossed, just smiling, like backstage, and it's like when you find out a superstar got caught, when you found out a wrestler got caught with a gun.
That shit's funny.
Because he's obviously that old school mentality.
Yeah.
But yeah.
But I'm not like I'm annoyed at CM Punk. Because like going by all the shit that's with the sending people home, sending Matt Hardy home, sending home Nick Nemeth because he's not paying proper respects and he's drumming shit up online, so you sending him home.
Like yo, brother, you're sending as much shit as we talk about Matt Hardy. Matt Hardy's got a lot more in this business than you do, my friend.
Yeah, like fam, can you just like shut the fuck up and wrestle and perform? Like, what is all this bullshit of sending people home and getting into like arguments back there? Like, I don't want to hear that shit anymore. That's part of what I was going into at the beginning of the show. It's like, bro, I'm tired of hearing all this shit. Like, I just want to watch wrestling and enjoy it.
What I don't like about it being for the real world champion is Punk's not losing. Yeah. And if they would have just had a one-on-one match, I still think Punk would have won, but you wouldn't have known. And I don't like when a match outcome's too predictable. Yeah. Granted, if the match is great, the match is great. But we see it all the time where these matches are just so predictable. something, and it's like you still get excited, you still want to see the match, you like the people in the match. Just sucks sometimes when they're very predictable. Like on the MJF and Adam Cole, I have no clue where it's going. I wouldn't be surprised.
No idea what they're doing.
No.
I have no idea what they're
doing. Who do you think actually is going to win?
I think Adam Cole is going to actually take the belt off of him, because I think he's going to turn heel. Because the thing is, there's a lot of weird shit going on with that angle. Like that whole thing with Roderick Strong where he's running around with the neck brace and like kicking the wall, because he looks like a little kid throwing a temper tantrum. Like something is going on with that. They're purposely making him look like a dumbass so that when whatever turn that's going to happens, he can like play it off, because something's going on with that shit. And I think MJF, what I think is that MJF is going to become the baby face out of this, and then Adam Cole's going to end up being the heel, like super heel.
And I'm all in on that. Well, no pun intended. I really did not mean that. I did not actually mean that. But, and this is what's going to piss me off about it, and I think he'll agree with me, is wrestling fans suck in the regards. If that's what happens, right? Say earlier in the night, Cole turns on him in that tag match. He gets presented as the heel in the main event. He wins. What everyone's going to talk about instantly. Not that Adam Cole's champ. MJF's going to AEW. They're getting the belt off him. His contract's up, blah, 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 blah.
Yeah.
Just like with Edge. Did you see all the comments about Edge?
Dude, everybody really thinks Edge is showing up at fucking All In, bro, with Christian.
And then, so Edge literally, I tested this. Edge pinned 1, 2, 3. I opened Twitter, and there were already comments about him showing up. And it's like, but I don't know if you saw his contract's not up till the end of September. That was just the last match on his contract.
Oh, okay. Oh, yeah, he ain't going nowhere.
I wonder, there's no way he can actually be done. Like, if he is, good on him. He went out in his hometown. I guess it really depends how much the hometown thing means to him. Because, like, a dude like Edge deserves, like, a WrestleMania ending. Yeah. But,
I mean, really honestly, he got one, though. Like, the thing with Edge, though, is, like, when you look at somebody like, I'm trying to think of a good example. When you think of somebody like, who's somebody that, like, almost got there, but didn't have, like, that moment. I can't think of anybody off the top of my head, but when you look at Edge, like, bro, he won the title at WrestleMania. That was, like, his quote-unquote last match before the next night he had to retire. Yeah. Like, he not that he won the belt or he defended it and retained it.
He retained it.
So, like, he had, you know what I'm saying, WrestleMania moment. Like, the biggest one you can possibly have is, like, holding up the title at WrestleMania as a champion. You know what I mean? So,
and then
it's different for him.
And they did take care of him on this run because his return is one of the best of all time.
Oh, yeah.
And then he, then COVID happened, but he got hurt. But then he came back. He won the Rumble.
Yeah.
He main evented a Mania with Danielson and Roman.
Yep.
He had that. I personally was a big fan of the feud he had with Seth.
Yeah.
He got
started the Judgment Day.
You know, the only one thing he did that I thought would have been a home run that wasn't. His matches with AJ Styles just weren't as good as I thought they were going to be.
Yeah. There's something about that. AJ, at what point do you, like, look at AJ for some of that? Because we know AJ's, for lack of a better word, phenomenal. But, like, when he was going to have those matches with Nakamura, we were all like, oh, shit, these matches are going to be the shit. And then they were, like, not great. You know what I mean? And they gave him 3 chances to have good matches, and all 3 of them were like, you were waiting for, like, that classic match. And it didn't happen. And then now Styles, again, he gets hooked up with Edge, and they have a match, but it's like, it's not, you know, amazing, but it was decent, but you expected, like, some next level shit, and it doesn't happen. So it's like, at what point do you kind of start looking at, you know, particular people for that shit? I don't know if it's AJ's fault. I don't know if it's Edge's fault. I don't know if there's just chemistry thing. I don't know.
But then still, he's done a lot, even on his second time around.
Yeah.
So he didn't hold any titles. I don't think he needed to personally, but so I could see if, like, this is it.
And again, this is just like the way I look at it. It's like, this is the end of his run on this contract, and he'll maybe disappear for like a year or so, and then he'll pop up like at Royal Rumble or something, or a match here and there, or something like that.
I think if he comes back, it's just going to be a build for Mania, and then that's really going to be it.
Yeah.
And then, but I don't know, people really think, and I saw Fightful report some stuff that people really think he could end up in AEW. And I'd be cool with it only if he teamed with Christian. If he wasn't teaming with Christian, I really don't want it.
Like,
that
look,
might just be the mark in me.
If by some miracle they have this tag team match at All In or whatever, and fucking Edge and Christian show up, like I'd lose my fucking mind. Like that would be some fucking insanity. You know what I'm saying? Straight
that's
insanity.
The only way I would want him there. But my thing is this, so I'm going back to the 24 about him. So I don't know if you knew this. When he was making his return, AEW was just starting.
Yeah.
If you remember, he did this. If the backtrack, SummerSlam 2019, he was on the pre-show. They were in Toronto, and he speared Elias. He's made returns since, but that was the first time he got physical. I'm assuming Tony Khan.
Where the fuck is Elias?
I don't know. He's been gone for a little bit. I think he's done. But
that's my boy, bro. I need Ezekiel back, bro.
And then
I need Ezekiel on my TV.
AEW was the one who reached out to Edge. So like Tony Khan in a fucked up way is part of the reason Edge came back.
Yeah.
And he's like, right, well, before I do this, like I have to do right by Vince. And then he said in the thing, like he sat down with Vince, and Vince is like, well, if you're gonna do this, you got to do it here. AKA, I threw a lot of money at you.
Oh yeah.
And that's just what I would see, like, because it's very well known. Edge is one of Vince's boys.
I mean, Edge is a lifer, bro. Edge is one of those people that he grew up WWE. I want to be, and there was WCW, but he didn't fuck with WCW like that. He's like Kevin Owens, where he was like, yeah, I knew WCW was there, but I was a WWF guy, WWE guy. Like that was my shit.
The reason I don't see him going ever, which I wouldn't mind, unless he was going to do the show Christian, Vince will not let him, because Vince will just pay him. And that'd be a hell of a way to go out. Make a quick bag, do a WrestleMania, and then really call it.
Yeah, I mean, I can't blame the guy for that. He's gonna be in. He's doing another movie and shit, so that probably has something to do with it. Also, he's doing that. Percy Jackson.
I'll say he got a really cool role. That was enough.
Yeah, he's playing Ares, like the god of war, Ares on.
Yeah.
I don't know if that's a show or it's a movie. I'm not sure, but that's.
I heard I'm trying to think. I don't know if I've ever seen him in anything, but I heard he's like not a bad actor.
He was good in that show Vikings. He was in that show Vikings. He was pretty good on that. I don't remember what else. I saw him in something else. I can't remember exactly what it was though. But I know I saw him in something else.
I guess staying on WWE. Did you see? Are you tracking? Did you see the promo Nakamura did?
I watched that shit on my lunch break today. I love that they did that shit in Japanese. Like, I love that. I love that, dude.
I think Nakamura would be the perfect guy to beat Seth, but I just don't see. I think because they want to try to have some lineage to this title, I don't think Seth will lose. But Gunther and Chad Gable had a great match.
Yeah, I saw that too, where he actually they're actually building up Chad Gable, bro. What a fucking miracle. They're actually building him up.
I'd like to see Gable be the one. It's just so they I'm not a fan of DQs and countouts, but they did a count out and I thought that was smart.
Yeah, the way they did it was clever though. But you know me, I hate that shit. I fucking hate
but
DQs.
Gunther technically takes the L, but it protects Chad Gable from just not losing either. And it's just they're in a shitty predicament just because he's gonna beat the record.
Yeah,
he's 100% gonna be. But Payback is a week before the record, so it'd be perfect for him to win at the pay-per-view. So if they fight at the pay-per-view, like that's the thing. Like Chad's gonna lose.
I wonder if they're gonna swerve us where like they set that matchup and they go, yeah, we're 5 days away from Gunther breaking the record or whatever, and they have Chad Gable beat him before he actually breaks the record. Because, bro, I don't really think honestly, I don't really think that fucking record matters. Like, it doesn't really fucking matter, bro. It doesn't matter if he breaks the Honky Tonk Match record. I mean, it would be cool to have that under his belt, but if he's gonna go on to beat Seth Rollins for the championship, bro, who gives a fuck about that? Like,
Yeah,
you know what I mean? Like, who cares about that
because
Honky Tonk Match record? Nobody.
Gunther already has the record for the most time in a Rumble.
He's got the most Rumble time. He's got the modern
UK,
era, you know.
The UK, yeah.
Yeah, he's got the modern era ring.
I would be fine. I hope he gets it because I like him, but I would if he loses to a Chad. It's just, you know what? This would be if he loses, say, 6 days before to Chad Gable. If Chad Gable ends up having a shitty reign, not on his part, on WWE's part, I'd be pissed at that point then.
Yeah, they have to make sure to make sure that they don't drop the ball with Chad Gable if they're gonna do that.
Because Gunther brought this title back to life.
Yeah.
And my thing is this, though. So now, granted, we all know the draft's a joke. No one takes it serious, right? So Gunther's the day he needs to break it, or is like that. It's on a Friday. So I remember they did this. It was very clever. But how would you feel, even if he wins to solidify? Because that's what happened. Even though he's a Raw guy, Gunther defended the title on SmackDown the day he needed to beat someone to beat the record. Like, if you remember last summer, it was perfect. The Usos on SmackDown faced the New Day on the tying day of the New Day's longest title reign. Remember that? And it was a good match. And, like, the Usos had to win because to beat the record, and if the New Day won, they'd get the titles, and tied, they would just have a tie.
Yeah.
So I don't know. How would you feel if they did that for Gunther? Even though he's a Raw guy, technically.
Yeah, because the thing is, like the what fucks it up is Payback. Because if they have a match with Chad Gable at Payback and then he loses, then you run it back on that SmackDown or whatever show that is that they have that.
Yeah.
The
record.
You
know what I'm excited about for Payback? This is the first pay-per-view, I think, this whole year that has not just been focused on the Bloodline.
Yeah. That would be
good.
I
actually think Shinsuke and Seth's going to main event.
And they should do more of that. Like, they don't have to have, both of those at, like, every show. They can have, shows where it's based, like, they really should be doing Raw and SmackDown pay-per-views. Like, they really should. Like, I
was a fan of it. I was personally a fan of that.
I think that it would actually help them too, storyline wise, if they could just every other pay-per-view, like, they switch brands. You know what I mean?
Well, because that's so. I remember, like, in the Ruthless Aggression era, that's how they did it. So every other month, the brand had a pay-per-view, so you could build the storyline. But I remember in 2016 when they brought it back, each brand had a monthly pay-per-view, so there was 2 pay-per-views a month, and it was overkill.
Oh, that's crazy. That's insane.
It was like literally back-to-back Sundays usually, and it was just overkill because it's like, okay, if you're doing every other month, that's fine. Yeah, I don't know. And then it kind of makes you think, like, I wonder, because I think after All In, AEW is on a no shit reset. I know I just kind of randomly switched, but they're on a real, like, I want to know what they're gonna do for All Out.
Yeah, I think they did what? They announced like 1 or 2 matches for All Out last week.
Oh, I thought it was All In. I don't know shit about All Out.
Yeah, there's 2 matches that they booked for All Out. I think. Hold on, I'm seeing something here, which is Sunday. Sunday, Impact is having a pay-per-view also.
Wow,
and I normally wouldn't care, but Trinity's wrestling Deonna Purrazzo for the fucking Impact Women's Championship. So
wait, they're doing it this Sunday during
the 27th. The 27th Sunday. So the weekend where they have
right now
the WWE pay-per-view. That weekend they have a WWE pay-per-view, I believe. Or is that this weekend? Oh, the 27th is this weekend.
Yeah.
Oh, that's this weekend, right? Okay.
Yeah, All In is this Sunday.
There's All In during the day and then at night. Okay, that's fine. That's cool. because I thought it was next weekend, which would have been insane.
So they have two
But yeah,
matches
All Out.
announced so far.
Yeah, 2 matches, right?
Yeah, Miro and Powerhouse Hobbs, and Luchasaurus and Darby Allin.
Which is like, woo! Those are pay-per-view. There's a couple matches that make me want to spend another fucking.
And the reason I don't
$50.
like the Darby Allin one, to be honest, is because he's already been a TNT champion. So if he wins, it's like, okay, you got it again.
It's just
Miro and Hobbs, I'm into. I'm into that.
Yeah, but even the build on that has been fucking kind of stupid. Like and I like both of them. I do like both of them, but I don't know. They're definitely having that issue again of like building up their secondary people. Like, where the fuck is Wardlow? Wardlow's like vanished off the face of the earth. He's not injured. He's just fucking vanished.
He needs to be in the main event.
And then you have Miro coming out squashing people, Hobbs coming out squashing people, but then they don't have like a face-to-face really. Like, they should have had a face-to-face this week. You know what I'm saying? Like, or maybe because they're probably not going to do that next week, because next week, that show literally the next day is the fucking pay-per-view. So not next week, this Saturday. That Collision show is like the go home show for your pay-per-view the next day. So it's going to be fully focused on the damn pay-per-view.
Yeah, that's nuts. So I don't know. So there are people saying online, now I'm diving back because I have to ask you this.
Yeah, we swing back and forth. That's what we do.
Yeah, that people really think, including in the company, that Roman is actually going to beat Bruno Sammartino. I did the research. If Reigns was to beat him, he would pass him on May 3rd of 2028.
Nah, there's no fucking way.
There's no way.
Bro, there's no way.
Okay. I'll never legitimately say fuck you to like a wrestling company, right? I can be upset in a booking decision. We all can be. Especially if they run back Cody Rhodes and Roman again, and Roman went, it's like, all right, fuck you, dude. Just fuck you. I can't.
Just retire that belt, retire Roman Reigns, and retire that belt, and just move forward with Seth's belt, because at that point, like, come on, dude. No one's beating this guy. The only person who is like The Rock. That's it.
Yeah.
That's the only one who hasn't shown up.
And you need to give up on that, in my opinion, because there was a thing coming out. There was a thing that came out saying that with the movie strike, this makes it even harder for The Rock, Batista, and them to show up.
I thought it would have been easier.
See, that's what I thought. And Cena is showing up, but I think Cena's still under a contract with WWE.
Okay.
Like, I see how, like, I bet you The Rock, Batista, they get their royalties and shit, but like, I think Cena's on like a contract.
I would think it's easier for them to show up on WWE TV if there's a writer's strike going on.
Someone was saying Brian Gerhertz, how do you say his name?
Gerwitz?
Gerwitz. So he used to be a creative writer, and now he works for The Rock. And he's the one who said that The Rock's like, he said it, The Rock wants to be part of the bloodline thing. Like which I think The Rock's saying that to keep his name relevant at the same time.
Right.
And two, but this makes it harder because it's not a good look on The Rock if he goes and does it.
Why?
I guess. I don't know, because I guess no one's making movies and stuff, and you're going out. I don't know, but the thing is,
man? Fuck all these people. They need to figure that shit out.
But what doesn't make sense to me is, as Road Dogg said in an interview, this is what brought The Rock to the dance. That'd be like Kevin Hart's not in movies right now. But see, like little things, like Kevin Hart was supposed to host the ESPYs this year and didn't do it. And he said it the day before, and Pat McAfee ended up doing it.
Oh, okay.
So like maybe
I guess I could kind of understand from that standpoint. Like, he doesn't want to go be on TV. Meanwhile, the people that probably eating off of him and shit, as far as his like support team and whatever, they're not working now because of the strike. I could kind of understand that, I guess.
But at the end, like, I hate being that guy, and it comes off biased because I'm wrestling it. But yo, this is the fucking Rock. Like, this is The Rock.
The only issue though is that he's not gonna beat Roman Reigns. Because then what are you gonna you're gonna put the belt on The Rock, and then The Rock has to take an L to somebody else at some point to lose the belt? Like, this is not gonna happen.
Yeah, because then it's like Cody Rhodes beats The Rock. Like, you know, like I just use. So that's why. And here's my other thing in all this, right? Heyman says we're in the bottom of the third inning, which I don't think we are. Don't get me wrong. It's been a great game so far. But my thing is this. If that's really the case, I blame Roman. Because Roman should show at this point, it would be, if he holds it past Mania, that's just selfish.
Yeah, but I don't think it's up to him, bro. I don't think that he's like.
So you don't think if Roman really told like Triple H and them, like, I'm done, like at Mania, I want to drop the title.
Nah, I honestly feel like
you don't think Roman's got that pull?
Nah, I feel like Roman right now is because he seems like a tremendous dude. Like Roman seems like a tremendous dude.
That's all everyone says about.
Yeah, he seems like a tremendous dude, and I think honestly he's understands right now that he is. This is his show, so he's living it. He's enjoying it. He's playing his role, but he understands eventually, I'm gonna lose. But I don't think he's like, nah, I'm gonna lose it at. Like, I don't think he's doing that shit. Like, I think he's riding the wave, and whatever plan that they have, they're looking at it, and he's like, okay, at this show, this is where it's all gonna crescendo, and this is where I'll lose, and then I'll job over here, and then I'll go, and I'm sure they have like the shit worked out. And I think he has an idea of what, everything, obviously things can change. People get hurt, people leave or whatever. But as far as like the actual him dropping the belt, I think he'd be fine dropping it wherever it is that he's going to drop it. Like, I don't think he's holding up the belt or anything. Like, I don't have any issue with Roman being the champion. I just, like, it's funny because the story's so good that you want to see him fucking finally lose it. And it's like, that's the thing. Like, I want to see him lose it, but not just because I'm like, oh, I'm tired of Roman Reigns. It's just like, no, I want to see this motherfucker get his and lose the belt finally. You know what I mean?
Nah, man. So, I'll say since definitely for sure since right after Mania of 2022, once Sammy got involved that spring, I've been very huge on it since then. Sammy's insertion definitely helped a lot, but I think for me, it was the SummerSlam when he beat Cena and Brock came back. Because I remember I was there with Rob and we were like, all right, man, like they're serious about giving this dude a reign. Like,
yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, yo, he beat Cena clean. And that's the other thing. We've said this multiple times. He's got to start winning clean.
Yeah, that is one thing I will say.
It's because it's getting to the point now where the matches are predictable. He comes in, he dominates in the beginning, he talks a lot of shit to the camera.
And I don't understand. Like, it makes his opponents look fucking stupid too. Because why doesn't his opponents go, you know what, motherfucker, we're gonna have this match, but there needs to be a stipulation that absolutely no one can interfere in this match, or you lose your title.
A Punjabi prison match.
Yeah, like that's it. Like I'm not about to take an elbow from fucking Jay. Jimmy's not about to super kick me. Solo's not about to spike me. No.
Yeah.
Nobody. I don't give a fuck. Nobody can get involved, bro. And if they get involved, you lose the belt. That's it. Like, where the fuck is Adam Pearce, bro? Like, he's supposed to be the authority figure. You would think that he'd be like, no, right? Y'all gonna have this match. Any interference in any way whatsoever, we're gonna do instant replay. I'm gonna have 5 referees out there. Anybody interferes, your belt's gone. Like, I'd be behind that shit. I'd be like, yo, if I was Cody, I'd be like, nah, bro, we need to do that. We need to have that stipulation because what the fuck?
Yeah, and I'm still on the bandwagon of Cody has to be the only one. I don't care.
It has to be Cody.
I don't care how hot LA Knight is. I don't care how hot Gunther gets.
Can you imagine LA Knight dethrones Roman Reigns? Like, that's no way.
Pop would be because, dude, even every week his pops are getting louder.
Yeah. And I love LA Knight, but he's not the right guy.
Did you see the interview he did, like, off camera, like off like on a TV show about where he said he got with everybody? He got with everybody saying from Dr. Dre, the Chronics album.
Oh, no shit.
Like, he's a huge hip hop head, it sounds like.
That's cool.
Yeah, and then, but he's just because I'm honestly enjoying this feud he's doing with The Miz. Yeah. I hate saying it, I really do, but I'm liking it. I'm assuming he goes over clean, but then it's like, all right, man, after this feud with The Miz, he's got to be going after one of the titles.
And that's where
they're behind him, man. He's on each show. And WWE, I saw a thing on Twitter yesterday. They released like the banners. I guess, for each show. And LA Knight's on the SmackDown one.
Oh shit!
Like, so
Nice.
because that's the thing. He's clearly a babyface now, so he's not going to beat Rey Mysterio.
Yeah, that's weird, bro. Why the fuck didn't they just have Austin Theory
Lose to LA Knight.
Fucking LA Knight? Like, why?
You could have dragged. Here's the thing: Austin Theory's reign sucked. You easily could have dragged out the Santos thing to payback, and then when the LA Knight was done with the Miz, he does that.
Yeah, I don't get. I don't understand what's going on there. I don't know what happened with Santos. I don't know if Santos really got hurt. I didn't really understand that angle. Why Rey Mysterio? I don't know. But
and it's cool because it's like, yo, I love Rey Mysterio. I'm not mad he's got a title, but it's just like, why?
Yeah, like what the fuck is the purpose? I mean, maybe they're just trying to push, the LWO or whatever because they're selling a lot of merch or something. I don't know, bro. But to me, the perfect thing was to have LA Knight take that belt off of this dude. Like, it was perfect.
And we finally got Rhea Ripley defending her title.
Yeah, she had a whole 2 minutes of a squash match last night.
Yeah, she's going. I don't know, man. I like that she's fighting Raquel, and I'm not the biggest Raquel fan. Like, I like her, but I think that should have been saved for like a Royal Rumble, to be honest.
Yeah,
because if you remember, they had a really good match in NXT together. It was like a hardcore match, but it was good. Like, I don't know, because now it's like, okay, Rhea's clearly going to beat Raquel, and it's
bro.
like,
Let me tell you something. Rhea Ripley, did you see Rhea Ripley body slam Kevin Owens?
Yeah.
Bro, Rhea Ripley needs to start wrestling dudes. She needs to start wrestling dudes.
It's getting to that point there. Because here's the thing. If she's body slamming Kevin Owens, right? He's a big dude. There should be no reason she's like if she's doing that, the squashes she's doing makes sense.
Yeah.
Like, why should she have a 10-minute competitive match with Candice LeRae when she's body slamming Kevin Owens?
And no way. And this is one of the things. So this is one of the things that was like irritating me this morning. I was seeing people post all these old like hardcore matches with Candice LeRae, because Candice LeRae can fucking wrestle. She's awesome.
She can.
She's just, she's older. She's a mom now. She's there for the check, bro. She's made it to the majors. She doesn't need to do that shit anymore. I promise
you, she has no.
You know what I mean?
She wants that back.
She's in the major leagues, bro. She's in the fucking NFL, first round draft pick. So she's making her money. That's what she's doing. So they were posting all this stuff because she apparently beat the Young Bucks in a match by herself, like in a death match. So
that's kind of funny.
Yeah, I was actually watching and I was like, yo, this is pretty fucking entertaining. Yeah. She wrestled Johnny Gargano. She wrestled a bunch of people, but it's like people were posting these videos and they're like, oh man, fucking she deserves better. And Rhea squashing her, but it's like, bro, you guys, do you really want, like, do you think the best thing for the champion of her size to go 10 minutes, 15 minutes with fucking Candice LeRae? Like, Candice LeRae looks like a child compared to Rhea Ripley. Like, it wouldn't make sense. It would be like, that's one of the problems I have with Bianca. Like, they put Bianca versus like Alexa Bliss. And it's like, come on, bro. Like, I like Alexa Bliss, but dude, look at fucking Bianca. She looks like She-Hulk.
Yeah. Like, besides the 4 horsewomen, there's only 2 women that really can give Rhea a credible match, like, with time. And it's Raquel, simply just off her size, and Bianca.
Yeah.
Like, there's no
I'd throw Becky Lynch in there. I would believe Becky Lynch.
Well, Becky's one of the 4 horsewomen.
Yeah. Well, right. Yeah, I would buy her.
Yeah. And even though Sasha's smaller, Mercedes, she's smaller, but she's got that credibility to be like, all right, I'm going. Like, no offense, I love all the women. Like, but Tegan Nox, yo, you can get squashed. Candice LeRae, you're gonna get squashed. Shotzi, you're gonna get squashed. Like, you know what I mean? Like,
and that's what I'm saying. Rhea needs to start wrestling dudes, bro. Have Rhea Ripley beat Gunther for the IC title. Just had to have both belts, bro.
Yeah, China was the IC champion.
Let's go. Put the IC belt on fucking Rhea Ripley, bro. Let's do it. Let's get it
so
going.
I'm happy she's defending. I am finally happy she's defending her title, though.
Yeah.
Because she's one. They figured it out. She's one that's going to hold on to that, too. I honestly don't see, besides Gunther, and it's because we both think he's going to win the Rumble, I don't see any, maybe even Sammy and Kevin Owens, I don't see any champion really losing their title. Maybe the 2 mid-cards. I think both world champions are staying. I don't think EO will. Oh, did you see Kairi Sane? signed with WWE.
Oh, she's actually resigned?
Yes, yep. I think she's gonna start in like November because she tweeted something. So I wonder how they're gonna make her return. Like, I don't want to be that guy, but are they gonna go the obvious route, like Io's champion, and they kind of do like the Japanese women face off, or?
I mean, they were already doing that with Asuka and like Io, and they never really gave them their proper, like, actual match together and shit.
I want to see them three in a triple threat match.
That'd be dope. That'd be dope. And just let them go ham.
Even if it's like on a SmackDown and it's like the winner is the number one contender. Like, it doesn't have to be on a Mania. I just want to see the three of them in the ring.
Just as long as they don't put Kairi and Asuka in a tag team and throw them in the tag team division, I don't want to see that.
The Kabuki Warriors.
Yeah, I'm not. That was fine for what it was, but it's like I'm done with those tag team titles. I don't.
Because Kairi didn't. She just didn't re-sign. Like, I think she just wanted to go back to Japan for a little bit.
Yeah, her contract ran out and she just bounced.
Yeah, because I think Triple H was high on her. Because she was the one who beat Shayna Baszler, right, for that long reign. Oh no,
was it
Rhea.
her?
Rhea.
Oh yeah, Rhea Ripley, that riptide. So, she riptide the shit out of her off the top rope.
Who did Kairi beat then?
Kairi Sane was champion.
No, I think she did beat her once because Shayna's like a 2 or 3 time women's champion.
Yeah.
But I remember the two of them had a good little run against each other.
Yeah, Kairi Sane is great.
Yeah, I love her elbow off the top rope.
Yeah.
What does she call it?
The insane elbow.
Yeah, so I don't know, man. We got a lot going on in the wrestling world. One what I think's cool, I heard AEW is big on signing. I've been randomly following her since like 2018, like when she had like very little Twitter followers, all this. But do you know who Mariah May is?
I saw that AEW is trying to sign her. I have no clue who she is.
She's from the UK, and if I'm being brutally honest, I'll say I think I randomly saw her on Instagram or Twitter, and I was like, wow, like this chick's like hot. Followed her, and she was a wrestler, and she was just doing random ass indies like in the UK, dude. Like, this is years ago I followed her. And then she ended up showing up in Stardom. And then now I'm hearing this, and for years these like indie people who know her, like actually, like, I watched a few of her matches on the indies, but the people like WWE, AEW, you guys gotta sign her. They've been saying this for like years. So it's kind of cool. Like, I guess this is like not the first, but one of the few people I've known since like an indie, like finally getting like the big time. And I think it's kind of cool.
Yeah, that's cool. I have like
right but the now thing I'll tell you is this is going to be Tony doing a thing, and she'll come out and no one's going to know who she is, but because Tony's so invested in wrestling, thinking that everyone's going to know her. Like, the IWC will get a pop out of it.
And that's a dope thing about Tony Khan, when he has his eye on people. Like, he's had I'm waiting for him to get Angel Metro on Ring of Honor or like Rampage or something. I'm dying to see that shit. But he had like Heather Reckless, who's another indie wrestler. She's fucking awesome. He's had her on there a couple times, and if you watch Ring of Honor, he's always having like indie talent on there. This girl, I just started seeing about her now, but I haven't followed her or anything. I really don't know anything about her, but I'm gonna look up her matches and see what's going on there. But I think
good. I'm a fan.
And what's her name is blowing up too? Fucking Julia, the freaking New Japan Strong.
Yeah,
she's fucking blowing up big time, bro. And I'll be honest, I haven't seen a stitch of a match of hers, so I got to do my homework on that.
Tony for sure is gonna try to sign her whenever he can.
Yeah, I gotta do my homework on her because I haven't seen any of her matches, and I have that freaking New Japan subscription, and I haven't used it, bro.
Speaking of, what's up with Jade?
I just think she's taking a break. She's not hurt or anything. I think she's just kind of enjoying her time off
or nothing like that, right?
I don't know. I mean, I don't think her contract's expired. I think she's literally just taking a break because she, not that she had the most, rugged schedule or whatever, but
Once
I
a
think
week
she's
squashing people.
gonna pop up somewhere soon. She'll pop up on one of these shows, and she's gonna be involved for the women's title, not for the TBS title.
I'd love to see her return at All In at the end of the women's Fatal 4-Way. Because who do you think takes that?
Probably Saraya.
You think so? You think they're gonna have Sheeta have
Probably
a short run?
Saraya. I really think that they're gonna put the fucking belt on her, bro.
I hate saying it because don't you hate in wrestling when you can tell someone's clearly a transitional champion?
Yeah, it's. I mean,
And
again,
you don't want to because
I just Saraya. I understand it from a business standpoint. Like, I get it.
Pop, the
I
hometown.
get it. She's in her hometown. She's from over there. It's going to be like the biggest thing ever. I get it. But is this the best thing for the division? I don't know. I really don't. I would love to see Sheeta retain, but I really doubt that that's going to happen, dude. And then when you look at the other ones involved in the match, who's going to get the biggest pop if they win that fucking title? It's definitely going to be Saraya. So,
or Jamie Hayter returns at the end of the match. That'd be dope too.
What would be great is if she returns at the end of the match and fucking beats the shit out of Saraya.
Yeah, that won't happen though.
That'd be great.
If Saraya wins, she's just gonna walk out to the pop. I don't know, man.
I'm looking forward to that match because I think it's gonna actually be a good match. At least I hope and pray that it is. But I don't know, man. I really feel like she's gonna win that belt. I think it's written in the stars.
I definitely think it's going to be a really good show. I definitely think there's going to be some surprises, debuts, like in the debut return department. We just don't know who or what yet. Amped to see that though. Like, I'm just trying to think, like, really think, like, who else could be returning. Like you said, a Jade, maybe a Jamie. You know.
Yeah, that's the thing. Everybody like everybody's like, engaged right now. Like, everybody who I wanted to see back is back. Like, Kenny's back. Everybody's back.
The only big name that's her is what, Danielson?
Yeah, and I mean, he hasn't been gone long enough to like. I mean, I'm sure they'll pop in the building if he pops out at this pay-per-view. But I'll be like, oh, cool, Danielson. But I'm not gonna go. Oh shit, I'm not gonna lose my shit.
Yeah, you're right. It'd have to be a debut because I can't think of another big name that's out.
And even with that, like, who the fuck would it be? Like, I would think, who would have gotten a gigantic fucking pop over there if he would have debuted? Nick fucking Aldis. Yeah, Ryback. Nick Aldis, bro. Yeah, Nick Aldis would have gotten a tremendous pop, but he decided to be a producer. So that's the biggest.
Once again, collecting the bag.
Oh shit! It looks like Kevin Owens got injured again.
God damn, this dude's having such bad luck.
It sucks, bro. At least that's what it looks like there.
Are you liking what Tommaso Ciampa's doing with the missing Johnny Gargano things?
I haven't seen any of that. I don't know what that is.
So he's posting flyers everywhere about how Johnny Gargano's missing. But they're not hiding. They're not hiding that he's missing because Johnny Gargano was literally at the Eagles Stadium promoting WrestleMania.
Oh, wow.
It was him. Oh, Pat, I need to find this. So I was watching the Pat McAfee show the other day, and obviously he's a WWE homer, obviously. He was saying, and he was like, good business on the WWE, promoting during NFL football. You're going to have that. He's like, that's fucking, like, awesome. Like, that's fucking great fucking business. He's like, I texted some high up people over there saying, real fucking smart move. So I think he's boys with Nick Khan. He's like, you had Gunther there, he didn't really say much, but him, he just looks intimidating. He said, was it Cody Rhodes maybe? Cody was there, but I don't know if it was him. Maybe he said John. He's like, yeah, then they had this NXT guy there. And I don't think, but he was like, there's an NXT guy there, and he was talking. Yeah, that wasn't a good move, though. I don't think that guy should have been talking. He goes, and I'm just like, and I hope he wasn't talking about Johnny Gargano, but it was just funny because Pat clear as day shit. But I don't know. Then did you hear with WWE's TV rights coming up that ESPN is like low key actually interested?
Wow.
Imagine
I mean,
if SmackDown.
we got to see
Imagine
where
if
this Endeavor thing goes.
Well, because I
SmackDown
thought
on
about it.
ESPN.
Yeah, because it wouldn't be
SmackDown
Raw.
on fucking ESPN Deportes or ESPN 3 or 4.
Because you got to think it wouldn't be on Monday.
They're not gonna have it on the flagship ESPN. There ain't no way. They'll probably create like a ESPN Sports Entertainment or ESPN, Pro Wrestling or some shit.
Even if it would do the plugs they would get though.
Yeah.
They're like, picture this: ESPN hyping up WrestleMania during the Super Bowl.
Which, I mean, they've been doing that kind of shit during like WrestleMania season or whatever. They had Roman and Paul Heyman on, First Take and all that shit. So
did we talk about them on First Take yet?
No, not really. Where Heyman was like, actually, I think we did with the Bobby Heenan thing.
Yeah, he's dead.
That was crazy. That was a crazy thing to say.
Yeah,
he's dead. So dead. Crazy.
He's dead. I don't know. I was just Paul Heyman's the fucking man.
Yeah, he's great.
You know what someone mentioned about him too? That during this whole run with Roman, he's been like low key channeling his Paul Lee Dangerous because he always has a cell phone with him.
Yeah. Oh, that's true. I didn't even think of that.
Yeah, he's always carrying that big ass phone. And it's got a red case.
Bro, why are these people disrespecting Trish Stratus, bro?
Yeah, that's ridiculous.
The crowd was chanting, "We don't give a fuck" or "We don't fucking care" in French to her. Her whole promo.
Yeah, I did hear about that.
But people say that she sucks at promo. I haven't seen. I've seen her cut promos. I thought they were fine. She's just cutting heel promos. I don't see what's bad about it. I think she's been fucking great. But that's just me. I don't know. I can't fucking, some people are pickier than others, I guess, but I don't know what's going on with that. Pero I'm glad to see Doudrop back. That's for sure. That's my girl.
And she's Piper Niven. She's a champion. She's a legit champion.
And then all that time that she's been called Doudrop, I was like, I wish they would fucking call her Piper Niven. And the first thing I do is go, I'm glad Doudrop's back, instead of calling her actual name. What a jackass.
All right, so I have one last question for you, and then if we want, we can wrap it up.
Cool.
Because I saw a post about this the other day.
Ooh,
could you make the argument Chelsea Green has been... Oh.
Hold on 1 second. I'm seeing... you still have that Fightful subscription?
I don't.
Because Tony Khan noted that there will be changes there will be changes to AEW All In. We've learned of one that had been speculated throughout the day. It's on Fightful for subscribers. It's probably cap, but that is interesting.
What page? Like what no shit page had it?
It's Sean Ross is reporting it on Twitter.
Because maybe I do actually. Let me check. But while I check.
Interesting.
When did he share it?
33 minutes ago.
The fuck?
Yeah, that's what it says here.
Sean Ross. But
so you're asking me about Candice LeRae? I mean, not Candice LeRae. Chelsea Green.
So someone was trying, there wasn't like a beef thing, but would you say could you make the argument Chelsea Green has been the best rehire of the Triple H era?
Let me think about that. I wouldn't consider Cody a rehire because Cody.
No. Vince was still around for that.
Yeah,
too.
He wasn't.
Vince.
Oh, that's true. Supposedly, Vince flew to his fucking house.
Yeah, they talked
about that shit.
Watch that documentary.
Wow, that's nuts, bro. Fucking Vince flew to his house. So let's see. Chelsea Green as compared to.
So since then, he's had
Karrion Kross. He brought back. With Scarlett.
Hit Row. Do you consider Johnny Gargano brought back because he was a free agent? It wouldn't be him anyway.
Yeah, let's throw him in there.
Let's
throw him in there. And Candice LeRae también.
Candice LeRae. He brought Mia Yim back. He brought the
Tegan Knox.
Tegan Knox. He brought the OC back. He brought Dakota Kai back. Io. Well, I guess Io is the most successful. Well, no, Io was still under contract. She just wasn't going to resign, is what the rumors were.
I'll say this about Chelsea Green. She definitely gets the award for doing the most with nothing and getting it over. Because she is creative as fuck. Those Karen videos that she was doing at the beginning,
Yeah.
like first she was just a Karen. Then she was complaining to Adam Pearce and Sonia Deville and and that shit was entertaining. Then she started doing those TikTok videos where she was going into places as a Karen and freaking out. That was creative as fuck. Now this whole thing with the championship, her partner gets hurt. What does she do? Starts having who's got talent, like a talent contest to see who's going to be the new champion. Now she's partnered up
and she was sharing all those people's videos.
Yeah, so I will say she's definitely doing the most with very, very little that she's been giving and getting herself over. So
I'm telling you, man,
great.
I was talking to my boys. As of right now, the two women I'm most looking forward to watching their segments every week are her and Maxine Dupree.
Yeah.
Maxine Dupree, amazing to look at, but she's just entertaining as hell too. Like the Alpha Academy is just entertaining as hell.
Yeah, they're super like. It took a while for them to like get. It's funny because they've been doing this shit for so long, and you saw sparks of it. Like one of my favorite things was that video that he did when he was beefing with Braun Strowman. And he put that video on Twitter. It was like a 2-minute video where he's sitting in the park with Otis. And he's talking about we wrestled in OVW and we wrestled in NXT and this happened or whatever. And then at the end, he's just like, oh, thank you, with Otis. Like, that's one of my favorite things of his that he's done. And it's taken so long for them to actually get behind this guy and push him seriously, not just as a comedy, you know?
And I hate saying it because he doesn't need it, but part of it is because of Otis.
Yeah.
Dude, because another thing you can, and then we can wrap it up. But Otis, he's that dude who's gotten everything he's done over. Heavy Machinery was over as fuck.
Yeah.
And then Tucker got released. Then he got super over with the Mandy shit. The Mandy storyline. I was a big fan of that personally.
That shit was funny.
I liked
that
it.
Shit was funny.
And it just ended with the kiss at Mania.
Yeah.
And that sucks because that would have gone, because that was supposed to be in front of a live crowd. That would have gotten an insane pop in person.
Yeah.
Then he won the Money in the Bank, and he had it in like a lunch pail. And then Vince realized, okay, he's not that over. Because remember, the Miz beat him.
Right, for the briefcase.
Yeah, and then
they had to get that briefcase off of him somehow.
Yeah, and the Miz did it, won the champion for 8 days, and then finally Bobby won.
Ran away from Bobby Lashley. That shit was fucking horrendous.
Bro, I'll admit that episode of Raw got me because everyone knew Bobby was going to beat The Miz. But remember, they kept delaying the match and delaying it. And then when he won, I was like, fuck yeah.
But the thing with Otis, too, he could have easily like fallen into 24/7, comedy fodder, especially when he lost his partner. You know what I mean? Like they cut what was his name? Tucker. Cut Tucker, and like I don't have any clue what that dude's doing. Like he's just vanished from the face of the earth. But I was gonna say there was a team in AEW called Bear Mountain, and they were like those big, huge guys.
Yeah.
And now they've rebranded, and now they're called because they've been on Ring of Honor a lot. They've literally stolen Heavy Machinery's gimmick. Like they just completely stole their whole gimmick. They got a third guy with them whose name is like Jack Johnson, and he's like a motivational. What are they fucking called now? They're called Iron Savages. Now they're called Iron Savages, and their whole thing is like we're sipping sauce and kicking hoss and rhyming all these stupid fucking weightlifting terms and shit and talking about pumping and doing all this shit. I'm like, bro, you guys are literally Heavy Machinery. Like you just completely stole their gimmick.
Remember Otis's goofy ass in the Money in the Bank that he won? I personally was a fan of that Money in the Bank match. Like I thought that concept was cool. But Otis was so funny in that match. I remember because he started the stupid food fight they did.
Yeah.
But the part that always pops me, if you ever rewatch it, even if you find the clip, they're somewhere in the headquarters, and Daniel Bryan's doing the yes kicks on someone. And Otis is just going quicker with it, and he's just like, yes, 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 yes. It's like, and he just ends up going so fast, and he just looks so fucking funny.
And it's funny too that he can actually talk, and this is in this gimmick that he's in, he like never really says anything. Like
No.
he just
Yeah,
looks
'cause never-
intensely into the camera, like he doesn't say much.
Yeah, because remember, didn't AJ Styles like have the briefcase, but then he dropped it into Otis's hand?
Yeah, some silly shit like that.
Yeah, but I think that it's gonna wrap it for us. We gotta save our energy. Next week, I imagine the whole hour and a half, 2 hours
Oof.
is gonna be all about All In.
Well, the only good thing about that is we're actually able to focus on something and kind of pick it apart. So I will say that much. Because our last few episodes, which I've enjoyed just talking shit, which is fine with me, but I know it'll be good to actually sit and zoom in on a couple of things. And then the week after that, weekend of the wrestles again. We're gonna have double pay-per-views.
Round 85.
Yeah, I don't even know which one. I think this is like 4 or 5 or something. But really,
I think it is.
We might have to retire that whole thing because
it's just
every weekend is fucking weekend of the wrestles now with Collision. Like it's just every weekend. So we're gonna have that week. We're gonna have Payback and then Collision at the same time, going against head to head once again, and then All Out on Sunday. It's ridiculous, bro. It's almost too much. It's almost too much.
A lot of us. I think it is. I think it's just about there.
It's getting close, bro. I'm telling you.
Yeah.
I was honestly thinking about it this week. I was like, damn, man, I might need to take a break. But it's mostly due to I think if I just ignore Twitter and all that, I think I'll be better because I could just actually watch my show and enjoy it without having to see these idiots and their stupid fucking opinions about everything, which makes no sense. So stupid. But, ladies and gentlemen, this has been episode 156 of Wrestling is Trash. Nick and I both thank you very much for joining us once again on this lovely journey through the wrestling world. You already know I am your boy Lou from the BX. I'm sick of wrestling fans, but we're still here every week doing this show for you. Well, for the most part, every week, bi-weekly, sometimes bi-monthly.
Hey,
it happens. Life happens. I do want to apologize for that.
We're busy.
Nick's flying all over the freaking world. I got a new job. My car took a shit. It's like I got all kind of shit happening in my life, but we're gonna make definitely a better concentrated effort to bring the show out on a regular basis. So again, Lou from the BX, host of the Everything Podcast, co-host of Wrestling is Trash. You can find me on the Everything Podcast Instagram page. From there, in the link in the bio, you'll be able to find everything related to my content and Wrestling is Trash's content. And that is all I'm going to leave you with today. I thank you very much for all the likes and support on the show. And I will leave it to Saint Nick to take us home.
You can follow me on X and Instagram at the name below. I had to say it. But most importantly, follow us on YouTube and Twitter and Instagram. On Twitter at Wrestling B Twitter. I love how I say X and then I go to Twitter. At Twitter at Wrestling B Trash. But most importantly on YouTube, Wrestling is Trash. Like, subscribe, share, comment, the whole 9 yards. Let us know your thoughts, all that, what we can do to improve the show, things we should focus on. We like criticism, so please, you can tell us we're idiots. We'll probably get a laugh out of it.
Bring it.
So please show it all. Show it all. Show it all. For all of you listening who've stuck around this long, who are going to watch All In this weekend, enjoy it. It's a huge show. Most wrestling fans ever in a place at one time. Enjoy it. Don't bitch about it.
Absolutely.
That is all I got.
Shit, that's crazy. We should have actually done a freaking pre-show for All In if it's this weekend. I didn't even think about that.
We might be able to squeeze one in. I want to know what the final card is.
Yeah, but the thing, well, yeah, I doubt very much that they're gonna announce a match on fucking Saturday. So hopefully tomorrow night they'll finalize the card. But like, come on, bro, you can't announce a match Saturday and have it on Sunday. That would be disgusting. Like, really. Yeah. So we'll see. We'll see what happens. Maybe later this week we'll figure something out. But ladies, gentlemen, boys and girls, thank you so much. We appreciate you. Enjoy wrestling. And until next time, stay classy. We out.